What's up YouTube, this is Fate coming to you today with another deck profile, and today we are going to be debuting my Reptilianne build. One of the more overlooked archetypes in the game. This is also one of the more defensive builds in my arsenal. Has tested surprisingly well, controls the field really well when it gets its major plays out, and without further ado, let's get to the profile. First off, we play three of what I consider the MVP of the build. Triple Reptilianne Naga, cannot be destroyed by battle, and zaps anything down to 0 that tries to battle with it. Although the downside is she does switch to attack mode during each of your end phase with its face up on the field, which means that it is very easy to take damage while she is in attack mode, but we have some countermeasures that you will see later on to help prevent that. Next we're on Triple Reptilianne Gardna, another 0 attacker, 2000 defender, and when it's destroyed you get to search. And for the other Reptilians, 2 Reptilianne Vipers, pretty good to control when you zap your opponent's monsters down to 0 and use for synchro plays. And 1 Reptilianne Scylla, when you destroy opponent's 0 attack monster, she pretty much has a Goyo Guardian effect in that regard. And then on to another group of monsters for speed plays. Triple Tour Guide of the Underworld. And 1 Tour Bus. Since you are playing defensive, you have to have ways to recycle your resources as much as possible. Tour Bus and Tour Guide is just one of those methods. The next on to the boss monsters. Going to be swarming play of monsters on the field, so we'll run Triple Deity Hero Plasma. 1 Evil Dragon Ananta, plenty of reptiles in this build. And the one monster that initially inspired me to build this in the first place, 2 Reptilianne Vaskii. Mainly because Vaskii makes Dragosack cry. Basically, they try to set up a defensive play with Dragosack and 2 tokens. Vaskii can tribute those 2 tokens on their side of the field to special summon herself, use her effect to then blow up the Dragosack, and attack over for a free 2600 damage. Very entertaining whenever I get that play off. And since we're running Play of Darks and there's enough recyclability in the graveyard, 1 Dark Arm Dragon. On to the spells, gotta swarm plenty of monsters, so we run Triple Scapegoat and 1 Fires of Doomsday. Just helps the Vaskii and Deity Hero Plasma plays. And then for the next spells, Double Mystical Space Typhoon, Book of Moon, Allure of Darkness, Dark Hole. And since I had the extra slot in here, we do run plenty of low attack monsters, Creature Swap. On to the traps, we run Triple Offerings to the Snake Deity or Icarus Attack for Reptiles. I love this card in this build because you can actually combo this with Reptilianne Gardna, destroy Reptilianne Gardna and 2 cards they control, then Gardna gets his search effect. You actually end up +1ing off this trap card quite a bit. Next we run Double Magical Cylinder and Double Woboku. Like I said, there's the problem with Naga switching herself to attack mode as the game goes on, so a lot of attacks from bigger monsters will be baited out. So these 2 traps here either helps the monsters get down to 0 attack or redirects all the damage back towards them. And then for the other 4 support traps, we run Double Call of the Haunted, Compulse, and Torrential to round it out. Then next on to the extra deck, we run a pretty standard synchro lineup. 1 Ally of Justice Catastor, 1 Vulcan the Divine, and then for an extra level 6 I run 1 Reptilianne Hydra. The effect is very useful at times, especially against your opponents that uses tokens like Mecha Phantom Beast, for example, to get her effect off, or anytime you zap one of their monsters down to 0, but you don't use her effect too often, so 1 is more than enough in a build like this. Then for the other standards, Black Rose, Stardust, Stardust Spark, Scrap Dragon, Mistworm, and Star Eater. Then on to the Exceeds. With the Tour Guide engine, you do go on to rank 3 plays a lot more than any other. So for those, we run 1 Wind-Up Zen Mains, 1 Fortune 2, very good defender and it helps the recyclability of the build, 1 Chronomaly, Leviair, and Acid Golem. And since we do run into those oddball possibilities of getting a rank 4 place out, my rank 4 of choice, Emerald, to help the recyclability and to get off those draw plays. And that is my Reptilianne build. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time.